Hi guys, let's talk about what weightlifters wear. Now I feel like this is a very important topic, especially if maybe you are a beginner level weightlifter, or maybe you've come from another sport. Maybe you've come from CrossFit or whatever sport, and you might be doing weightlifting as an assistant sport, and you might have seen on TV with regarding the weightlifters, they might be wearing things like knee guards, wrist guards, belts, tape, all those kind of things. And you might be wondering, like, what is actually the most important thing that a weightlifter should have in their gym bag that they wear? And that's what I'm going to be covering in my video today.
Oh, you make me want to talk back to you.
Guys, welcome to my channel. It's Mona, where I talk about all things weightlifting and mindset. And today I'm going to be covering something to do with weightlifting, and again, something that's super interesting. I feel like a lot of beginner athletes will benefit from this video, because you might be thinking, okay, I have a budget. What is the most important thing that I need to buy as a weightlifter? I brought my gym bag here today just to show you guys what I have, but I also have some videos for you guys to see what is the most important things to wear. Now, before anything, the most important thing when it comes to weightlifting is your weightlifting shoes. Now, as you can see, the weightlifting shoe has a nice heel. It's different to a sneaker. It's got a solid, solid foundation. The shoe itself is solid as well, where with a sneaker, you'll see it's a lot more unstable. So this is very good for like your joints, your knees and your back and all those kind of things. So very important as the number one thing that you would need as an Olympic weightlifter. Then the second thing that is really important, and this is more for the athletes who want to potentially compete. Now, if you want to compete in the sport of weightlifting, other than your shoes, the second most important thing to have is your weightlifting suit. So as you can see with your weightlifting suit, also called a singlet, or some people might even call it a costume, it is attached, okay? So there's not a separate top and a separate bottom. It is one attached suit that you wear. Now, this specific suit falls under the IWF, which is International Weightlifting Federation regulations, which is important because everything that you wear must fall under the regulations and rules in order to make sure that it's legal, so that you don't come to competition and potentially just wear anything, or maybe just wear like a pants and a shirt, and then you cannot compete because you need a full singlet that is attached. Now that you know the most important two things that you need, let's start going and talking about the other things that you've seen weightlifters wear. Now, I would say the other thing that you see very often with weightlifters is knee guards. Now, I am a big fan of knee guards, but I do not recommend them always to beginner athletes. I always say when you get to a certain level, and maybe even just to keep the knees warm, or if you feel like your knees need a bit more protection, or they're a bit niggly, then the knee guards are a great option. Again, according to rules, I'm not quite sure what the exact length is that's legal, but there is a length size that you must make sure, obviously with all your equipment, that everything needs to fit under the regulation. But I know for a fact all the reband knee guards do fall under that regulation. This is a really nice solid pair. I love wearing these. These are the ones I wear in competition because they're nice and solid, nice and stable, but they're also not too tight. So this is a great option if you want to just wear something to protect the knees. Now, you might have also seen athletes wear what you call knee bandage. Now, this is another option that you can wear even instead of the knee guards. Now, I like my knee bandage just because you can make it tighter and looser just depending on what you feel. But again, if you are a beginner level athlete, I wouldn't even touch these things because there's no benefit. It's not going to make you lift more. It's not going to make you stronger. It's literally just there to give you a bit of extra protection and just make your knees kind of feel warm. And again, if you are a bit niggly in those joint areas, then this is just a great way just to create a bit of extra support. So I would say, if anything, you don't even need to get knee bandage. If you feel like you need to wear something like knee guards or whatever, knee guards is probably one of your better options to have. Now, next on my list is your weightlifting belt. Now, I actually have 2 belts. Now, again, if you're a beginner level athlete, I wouldn't even touch a weightlifting belt until I am much more advanced, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you strengthen your core as much as you can naturally. So as you get stronger and carry more weight on your body, that will be beneficial to your core. So even sometimes in my program, even though I've been doing weightlifting for so long, there would be some training cycles where it says front squats without a belt until a certain percentage. But again, if you've been doing weightlifting for some time and you feel like your back does need a bit of extra support, a weightlifting belt is a great option. Now this one, like you can see, is actually Velcro. So this is actually one I like wearing when I snatch. Sometimes I wear it, sometimes I don't. It just depends on how I feel. And then I just have a clean and jerk belt, but you only need 1 belt, okay? You don't need to be fancy. You don't need to have different belts or different outfits or all those kind of things. You literally just, if you want to go the belt route and you want to have one for, you know, when your lifting gets really heavy or your squats get really heavy, just get 1 weightlifting belt, whichever one you prefer. I'm pulling out both my belts here so that you can see what are the options. Now, this is my other option. This is the leather one that's got a buckle. Now, obviously, if you do things like snatches, and not a lot of athletes will wear a belt with snatches, but if you do, the buckle can sometimes make it really difficult for snatches. So I'm more of a fan of this belt, the leather belt, when it comes to clean and jerks and my squats. Even when I do my pulls, I tend to find that the buckle just gets in the way when the barbell comes down. So I'll actually end up wearing my Velcro belt. Now, what else is in the gym bag that can, you know, just help with stability, help your joints, help your ligament? Next thing is wrist guards. Now, you might have seen athletes with different kind of wrist guards. I know there's even new ones out. I've seen some athletes with them. The Onyx ones, which are a lot thinner. It looks like just a leather strap. But, you know, again, you don't need to go fancy. If you're a beginner level athlete and you just want to create a bit of extra support on your wrists, this is a great option. Again, just Velcro. You don't need to go expensive. This is actually probably one of the cheapest things that you can get. The knee guards are pretty expensive. Obviously, if you get good quality ones, the same with the weightlifting belt. I just wanted to add also with regard to the weightlifting shoes. Now, the weightlifting shoes, firstly, again, if you're a beginner level athlete, I wouldn't spend thousands on a pair of weightlifting shoes. But I do want to emphasize that if you get a good pair of weightlifting shoes, this will last you forever. I know some elite level athletes that's got a weightlifting shoe that they have worn for 10 to 15 years, some even longer. So people only change really because maybe they want to stay up to date with the fashion, or, you know, maybe the model has changed or whatever. But to be honest, you need one good weightlifting shoe, and this shoe will last you a lifetime. So yeah, if there's one thing I would say, you know, spend a bit of money on a good weightlifting shoe. It's something that, you know, if you spend money on a really bad quality weightlifting shoe that's not, you know, as stable and solid, maybe not as well known, the shoe might only last a year. Or with this shoe, again, it can last forever. Now, let's go and see what else is in my gym bag. So have you seen athletes wear tape? Now, this is one of my one and done tapes. I normally wear this on my thumbs. It's just a great way for extra protection. So if I do a lot of hook grip, you tend to sometimes feel like your thumb gets a little bit raw on the inside. So if you want to just have a bit of extra protection on those thumbs, tape. I like the one and done because it doesn't fall off. You do get some cheaper tapes that are just really not good quality, and I find that, you know, if I do hook grip in my snatches and I go from my snatches to my clean and jerk, it does fall off. It does, you know, affect me mentally, because then I, get annoyed, especially if it's in competition and I have to deal with tape falling off. So make sure that you get a good quality tape if you want one. Like I said, I enjoy the one and dones. You don't need to get this, but they are really nice and comfortable. And again, if you don't have scissors with you, no problem, because these just tear off, and that's the perfect size for your thumb. Now, this is not something particularly that athletes will wear, but athletes use straps in training too. You will never see an athlete use straps in competition, because it's not part of the competition equipment. It's not legal to lift with straps in competition. You must hook grip or normal grip, or however you want to grip it, but hook grip is obviously the preferred method. But the straps, if you do things like heavy pulls or even a lot of volume reps or sets with snatches, straps are a great way. I think there's a video actually on my Raw Weightlifting channel, but I will make a video for this channel too, where I talk about how to use the straps, because there's also a special way to use the straps. And again, don't need to have this for a beginner level athlete. This is again more for the advanced level athlete. As a beginner level athlete, you want to actually build up that conditioning in your hand. You want to actually make sure that when you do reps and reps and reps, and yes, you will form calluses, yes, your hands will feel sensitive, but it's part of the game, and before you know it, your hands will become used to it. So again, with the straps, special way to use it. I'll make a future video if you guys want to see how to use straps. But yeah, guys, this is probably all these things that I talked about: the shoes, the singlet, the belt, the knee guards, the knee wraps, the wrist guards. Those are the things that you will see what a weightlifter wears. And like I said, guys, if you compete, make sure that they fall under the regulations and guidelines and rules, because depending on what competition you compete in, they could potentially have, maybe different rules for, just branding or sponsorship stuff on your weightlifting suits or knee guards. So just make sure that you find out, what is okay and what's not okay. But yes, that is the most important thing that you will have in your gym bag as a weightlifter. Nothing else. That is like to the extreme with all the equipment, but now you also know what each and every one of those things are used for. And guys, I just want to say, if there's anything else that you feel you would like that I maybe missed, I don't think I missed anything, because I've been lifting for over 20 years, and these are the main things that I have in my bag. And like I said, for a beginner athlete, all of those things are not even that important. It's just your weightlifting shoes and your singlet. If you compete, those are the most important things. So guys, thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Tell me in the comments below what your favorite piece of equipment is that you wear as a weightlifter. And subscribe to my channel, ring that notification bell, and I will see you in the next one.